Updated October 6, 2017. 102,524 devices that allow semi-automatic rifles to function like fully automatic ones need tougher regulation. Powerful U.S. gun lobby. The National Rifle Association says, calling on regulators to determine whether the bump stock devices comply with federal law. Key points in RA dismissed some of the initial response from politicians for more gun control after the Las Vegas attack. Many Republican politicians did not even know bump stocks existed prior to the shooting. Paul Ryan says White House welcomes efforts to address use of the accessories. The National Rifle Association is calling on the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives to immediately review whether these devices comply with federal law, the lobby group said in a statement, a rare move for the powerful opponent of most gun control initiatives. The NRA believes that devices designed to allow semi-automatic rifles to function like fully automatic rifles should be subject to additional regulations. The bump stock devices are legal in the U.S. and were originally intended to help people with limited hand mobility fire a semi-automatic without the individual trigger pulls required. A bump stock basically replaces a gun's shoulder rest with a support step that covers the trigger opening. By holding the pistol grip with one hand and pushing forward on the barrel with the other, the shooter's finger comes in contact with the trigger. The recoil causes the gun to buck back and forth, bumping the trigger and firing rounds much faster than if the shooter were to manually pull the trigger each time. The stock effectively turns a semi-automatic weapon into a fully automatic one that can unleash continuous rounds until the magazines are empty with a single trigger pull. The NRA holds a strong sway over members of Congress and dismissed some of the initial response from politicians who have pressed for more gun control. Banning guns from law-abiding Americans based on the criminal act of a madman will do nothing to prevent future attacks, the lobby said in a statement. A shooting rampage on Sunday night in Las Vegas that killed 58 people and injured nearly 500, the most deadly mass shooting in modern U.S. history, has reignited debate around regulation of firearms. Officials said 12 of the rifles authorities recovered from a hotel suite in Las Vegas used by gunman Stephen Paddock were fitted with bump stocks, allowing the guns to fire almost as though they were automatic weapons. The White House has welcomed efforts by both political parties to address the use of the gun accessories in the wake of the Las Vegas shooting. We know that members of both parties and multiple organizations are planning to take a look at bump stocks and related devices, White House spokeswoman Sarah Sanders said. We certainly welcome that and would like to be part of that conversation. President Donald Trump reiterated the statement when addressing reporters later, saying his administration would look into whether to ban bump stocks over the next short period of time. Republicans are traditionally advocates for Second Amendment rights, or the right to bear arms, but Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan has opened the door to possible debate on controlling the devices. Clearly that's something we need to look into, Mr. Ryan told radio talk show host Hugh Hewitt, referring to the accessories. He added that many politicians in the Republican-controlled Congress had not been aware until now that such devices existed. I didn't even know what they were until this week, Mr. Ryan said, referring to bump stocks. I think we're quickly coming up to speed with what this is. What are your thoughts on increasing the regulation of bump stock devices? Join the discussion. So could they actually be banned? Some of Mr. Ryan's colleagues have also signaled they would support a crackdown. The second most powerful Republican in the U.S. House of Representatives said he expects Congress will take steps to control the use of bump stock gun accessories. This is definitely an area we should look at, House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy told Fox News. The one thing I do want to do is, let's let the sheriff and the authorities carry out their entire investigation, Mr. McCarthy said. But I think this is definitely an area we're going to look at and be able to act on. Senior Senate Republican from Texas John Cornyn also broke ranks with other Republicans and Mr. Trump, who have shied away from talking about gun control in the wake of the massacre. If somebody can essentially convert a semi-automatic weapon by buying one of these and utilizing it and cause the kind of mayhem and mass casualties that we saw in Las Vegas, that's something of obvious concern that we ought to explore, Mr. Cornyn said. I own a lot of guns and as a hunter and sportsman I think that's our right as Americans, but I don't understand the use of this bump stock. At least one Republican senator, Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, said outright he was prepared to vote to ban bump stocks. I have no problem in banning those, he said. The comments marked a surprising departure from GOP politicians' general antipathy to gun regulations of any kind. But they were far from a guarantee of a path forward for the new legislation by California Senator Dianne Feinstein, especially with Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and Mr. Ryan making clear their priorities are elsewhere. The U.S. government gave its seal of approval to selling the devices in 2010 after concluding that they did not violate federal law. One of America's biggest retailers, Walmart, pulled bump stocks from its website in the wake of the shooting. In a statement provided to Business Insider, Walmart said the stocks were sold by a third-party retailer and never should have been sold on our site. Australia has long been held up in contrast to the US as a gun control success story, but a report this week claims every state has weakened firearm legislation since the agreement that was formed after the 1996 Port Arthur massacre. Reuters topics: Murder and manslaughter. Crime. United States first posted October 6, 2017 061913.